ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कोटिसूर्यसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा वागर्थाविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्थप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्. So we were looking at Bahuvrihi and Dvandva compounds in the last class. So within the Bahuvrihi, there are two main classifications we saw. One is Samanadikarana Bahuvrihi. Second is Vyadhikarana Bahuvrihi. So Samanadikaranam means where the words in the compound are in Samanadikaranam. They're having the same vibhakti. Whereas Vyadhikarana means where the two words or more, two is minimum, are related with a case other than the first case. Typically seventh case, but there could be other cases too. There are some examples of other cases too. So in the context there, we had said that what words come first in the compound, in Bahuri compound, and one rule was Saptami Visheshane. A word in the seventh case or a word which is a qualifier will typically be the, or it could be a number. There are a few more like that. So these are the words which will come in the first location as the first word in the compound. So this was the general rule given. Let me share the document, then we will talk further. Okay. So Saptame Visheshane Bahuvriha. So based on this, what should happen? The seventh case or the Visheshana will be the first word in the compound. I would like to make this. Okay. So that's what it is. But then we have an exception. Praharanarthebhya pare nishtha saptamyau iti vartikam. So see, when the person is holding some weapon in his hand. So what is he holding? A gada. Gada panau yasya saha. So this gada is called a praharana, a weapon. When that is there, then what happens? Nishtha saptamyau pare. So the saptami, panau, will become the second word, will not be the first word. Therefore, gadapani, dandapani, pashahasta, kodandapani. You can make so many now. All our devatas will have, weapons. This is one. The second one, not so well defined, is there are some words. There are some words, in which case what will happen? The words in Saptami will become a second word. They have no fixed rule, but there are some words in the language. And in that you will find the other words we saw last time. Chandraha maulau yasya saha. Now, this is not a weapon. Mauli is not a weapon. Then why is the Chandra maulau seventh case coming later? Because it belongs to a class of words which are like that. Nothing else. No other explanation can be given. So Padmam Nabhau Yasya Saha. Lotus is in the navel of whom? So navel is seventh case. It should have been Nabhi Padmaha. It became what? Padmanabha. Why? This is how the word is. All right. Shashihi Shekhare Yasya Saha. You can see all these are not weapons. Yet you will find that the word in seventh case is coming later. And this is covered by a rule saying Saptamyaha Puranipate Prapte Gadvadibhya Saptamyantam Praptam. What is Gadvadi? Don't worry about it, okay? It's a Gana. And it's a very short Gana, but it's an open-ended Gana. Akriti Gana, which means what? More words can be added if they are seen in Shishta Prayoga. See, when we see the word like Padmanabha or Chandramauli or Shashishekhara, there is no doubt it's a Bahurihi compound just by looking at it, if you are used to the language. And you can immediately make the Vigraha Vakya. The only thing is, which word comes first doesn't fit the rule. That's okay. Exceptions are there. Okay? So that should answer the question you asked me last time. Is that clear?
Yes, Swamiji, thank you.
Okay. So then we also saw Sankhya Uttarapadaha and Sankhya Ubhayapadaha, Saha Purvapadaha. The Saha Purvapada is good to remember because you will find more examples. You know, Sakutumba, Saputra, Sakarmaka, Salomaka. So many words will be there like this. Sa here means what? Saha. Saha becomes Sa. Then intermediate directions, Tigantarala Lakshanaha are also Bahurihis because it's pointing to neither direction, it's pointing to direction between them. Then Nanj Bahurihi, very, very common for students of Vedanta. You can't miss them. You'll see it all the time in Neti Neti. So Nanjastyarthanam Vachyo va Uttarapada Lopaha. So Nanj is the avyaya na, and it is followed by a word which has the meaning of asti, existence. Those two form what? A Nanj Tatpurusha compound. Those two will form a Nanj Tatpurusha compound. That Nanj Tatpurusha compound will then combine with another word to form a, may combine with another word to form a Bahuvrihi compound. That compound will be a Nanj Garbhita or Nanj Bahuvrihi compound. All right. And what is special there in those? The first Nanj Tatpurusha compound of that, the second word, which means the word other than Na, may be dropped optionally. Va Uttarapada Lopaha. All right. Therefore, what happens? See, na vidyamanaha avidyamanaha. What is na vidyamanaha? Nantat purusha. Na vidyamanaha avidyamanaha. Then what happens? This avidyamanaha joins with putra to form a compound which is an anbahuvrihi. It should become what? Avidyamana putraha. Avidyamana putraha. And then optionally, the word after nanj may be dropped in the purvapada. It will end up being what? Aputraha. Okay. So each of the nanj bahuvrihis can be like this. Now, I said nasti antaha yasya saha anantaha. I could have equally well written avidyamanahan antaha yasya saha anantaha. The two are nasti and avidyamana are synonymous in meaning. Okay, no problem. Either word is okay in the laukika vigraha. All right. But given that we have nanyaha astyarthanam vachyahava uttarapada lopaha, this nany must be there in the beginning. Okay. If nany must be there, if you look at nasti, the word nasti, is nasti having a nany or not? This is to be, you may not be able to answer it precisely. So what is nany? Is nany just na? Na is having the same meaning as nany, but na is a different word. If you remember, I said ekaha, na ekaha can have two possible forms. One is anekaha, another one is naikaha. Two possibilities. Anekaha is Nan Tatpurusha Samasa. Naikaha is Sup Supa Samasa. Both have the same meaning also, but the forms are different. All right. When you have a Nan, then what happens in the Nai? The Nakara will be dropped. That you should remember. Nakara will be dropped. Then, if the Uttarapada following Nan is begin with an Ach, a vowel, then that will get a Na Agama. Right? So, Purvaha will become Apurvaha. Na Purvaha will become Apurvaha. Asti should become what? If it's Nai, Asti should become what? Anasti. Asti should become Anasti. But that is not the word we have, Nasti. Therefore, there is no Nan in Nasti. If it had a Nan, it will become Anasti. All right. Therefore, although the Vigraha Vakya is saying Nasti loosely, better to technically stick with Avidyamana. That way, you know it is Avidyamana is Nan clearly. In that Vidyamana will go and you will get a clean compound of what we need. Yes, Priyanka.
So, I was under the impression that the word avidyamana is used when the person has a son, but he is not present at the moment.
That is something we have to think about because that possibility doesn't exist. See, then I have to say aputraha asmin kale, asmin deshe. If you say aputraha, people will not understand it as saying his son is not here right now. That is not the use of a compound. For that, you will say atra putra nasti.
Okay.
Or you might use nan tatpurusha in the context it would be understood. Possibility exists. Now the question is, if you remember, na putraha could also mean 6 nanyathas are there, you know. A lot of possibilities exist. I don't want to rule it out, but I'm saying, suppose I say, see, if you look at our Swasti mantra, aputra putrinas santu, jnaninas santu manavaha, adhana sadhana santu, jivan sharadakshatam. Like this, we have a Swasti vachanam. Aputraha putrinaha santu. Does it mean those who don't have a son right now with them, they should bring their son from somewhere? That's not the meaning normally. Aputra means avidyamanaha putraha yasya. But now you are adding a condition. Avidyamanaha putraha asmin deshe asmin kale yasya. Possible, but not normally understood like that. Aputra means no putra. Okay? But I'm saying this because I saw a question from you saying, you know, whether avidyamana is correct or nasti is correct in the Vigraha Vakya. So I want to make sure Vigraha Vakya nasti is okay, but when it comes to the compound, avidyamana makes more sense because it has nan in the beginning. Okay. Generally, we won't have, see, the thing is this. Now, what kind of a word is asti? What kind of a word is nasti? Is it subanta, tinganta? What is it? Interestingly, asti is subanta as well as tinganta. Tinganta, you all know, a verb. But asti is also a subanta as an avyaya. That word exists. Therefore, your question makes me think further. Is nasti also possible or not? Technically, it's possible, okay? I have to make a subsupa samasa with asti. But anasti doesn't exist. That word doesn't exist in the language, as far as I know. All right. So therefore, I just thought I will clarify that upfront. So when I come to answering the questions you have, it will become easier. Okay. Clear? Anyone has any doubts? Nan bahurihi should be understood, okay? Because you will see what avyavaharyam, agrahyam, alakshanam, achintyam. You'll see all nan bahuri. So many will come. Sometimes not all nan bahuri. Some will be a tatpurusha also. Contextually, we have to see which one it is. Okay. Yes, Raji.
Swamiji, the first two words, that avidyamanaha, And then I forgot the word already.
I'll put it up. Yeah, what about it?
And you said optional, so the compound can be written either way, aputraha or avidyamanaha.
See here, right here. Aputraha or avidyamanaha putraha. Both are
So we
okay.
can, both
Yeah.
are okay. Okay.
Akrodha, avidyamana krodha. That's why I'm putting both.
Okay. Okay.
See, I should have put a slash. Put it more clear then. Okay.
So whenever the word avidyamana comes, you can have the two options.
But generally, if it's Nanj Bahuri, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
And another thing to note is this. See, when we say nastyantaha, which means avidyamanaha antaha is anantaha. In the option, when I drop the vidyamana, now you don't just get a antaha. See, avidyamana antaha. If I wrote avidyamana antaha. Now, what do? I drop the vidyamana. Yeah, because uttarapada lopaha in the purvapada. Okay, so when I drop it, what do you get? A antaha. Why should it not become antaha? Then you have to remember that when you drop this, then what is happening? There's a nanj here, right? Nanj which has lost its nakara, and that is followed by an ajadi, anta. Therefore, the rule is not only for nanj tatpurusha. The rule is whenever an nai is immediately followed by an ajadi uttarapada, then this will get a, this sorry, not means adyantau takitau. Yeah, this no, no, this fellow, this word will get a in the beginning. Basically, I was just trying to think where should I place the nakara. The nakara will come here. Okay, nut agama will come. Therefore, it will become what? Antaha, not antaha, anantaha. Therefore, the rule of the na coming when a vowel beginning word follows holds for both nanj bahurihi and nanj tatpurusha. Should not confine it to only tatpurusha. Right? Therefore, anantaha, then anamayaha. But this is not like that. Anatha, because the word is natha, not atha. Okay? So, na natha, anatha. Yes, Priyanka.
So here in Vigravakya, the word is nasti.
As I said, that's a little, it's said like that. Sometimes Vigrahavakyas, Laukika Vigrahavakyas are put more loosely.
But we'll
Convention.
still use and
Yes.
then add nath there.
Yes. Because I'm giving example of Nanj Bahuri, there should be a Nanj.
Yeah.
See, I did this because I saw books using these Vigrahavakyas. And I want you to be comfortable with that. Because they clearly say Nasti and Avidyamana are synonymous, Priyayavachi. But if it is not Nanj, you cannot make a Ananta out of it. It's not possible. Because na will not cause the nut agama to come. So anta will remain anta. It won't become na. It won't become ananta. Okay. All right. So whatever I explained to you, I put that in the note as well. So people who look at it later don't get confused. Okay. Oops. Okay. Then we saw Pradi Bahuvrihi. Very common again for us. Nirgatah daya yasmat nirdayah. Nirgatah janaha yasmat nirjanaha, etc. Plenty of them. Okay. Okay. Now, if I look at this word here, what do you find here? Nirgata karuna yasmat. I will take your question in a little while, okay? Nirgata karuna yasmat. Now this karuna is what gender? Feminine. Okay, it's feminine. Then the word, should it become nishkaruna? So this is a concept which I have not touched so far for all of you, not only here but elsewhere too sometimes. When a word has the same form in both genders, masculine gender, feminine gender, in all vibhaktis, but there is a feminine form, it can be replaced by its masculine form. This is called pumvat bhavaha. Okay, I'll give you another example for that so that it doesn't confuse you. I don't want to mess with this one. So there is something, darshaniya bharya yasya saha. Darshaniya means what? Bharya is wife. Darshaniya means what? One who is very charming, very attractive. Compellingly, one feels like looking at her. She's very beautiful. That's the idea. One who has a very beautiful wife. Okay. So now what happens? The word becomes, it should be what? Darshaniya. Pratipadika is also what? Darshaniya. So it should have become Darshaniya. Bharya is also the word. But the word actually becomes what? It becomes Darshaniya Bharya. That's what it becomes. Now here, this word Darshaniya is replaced by its masculine equivalent. And this kind of a change happens in other places too. And this change is called Pumvad Bhavaha. That's what it is called. Pumvad Bhavaha. Pumvat means what? Like the masculine. So there are several words like this wherein this Puropada, which is feminine, will end up taking Pumvat Bhava and the form will be a masculine form. Okay? It's not critical, but good to know because you will find other situations like this. For example, suppose I say Mridu. Mridu means what? Tender. That will be Mridvi in feminine. Again, it will become in the compound Mridu, it will come back. Masculine form will come back. Why? Pumvat Bhavaha. With some exceptions. So essentially what we're saying is, when a word has the same form in all genders, except for the three pratyaya being added, that darshaniya is an extra pratyaya, feminine pratyaya. Similarly, when you look at, mridu becoming mridvi, it's e, an extra pratyaya. So these pratyayas will be appearing in the Vigraha Vakya, but when you make the compound, you bring back the masculine form of the Pratipadika. And that changing of the feminine to the masculine form will be called Pumvat Bhava. I'm not explaining to you in all the details. I'm just giving you a simple idea that this kind of thing happens. Okay? So that you are aware that this kind of thing will happen. This will be called Pumvat Bhava. All right. Yes, first I'll take Raji's question. What was that? Then I will come to Bhuma.
Swamiji, that in Nirgataha,
Yeah.
whenever the word Nirgata is there,
Yeah.
there also there are two forms. Is that?
You mean Nirgata Karuna and Nishkaruna? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, there and up there, there was one more word with Nirgata.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
all the
Yeah, you
Nirgata
can
words
see. You
have
can
two
see
forms.
here. Nirgata Spruhaha, Nispruhaha. See, all
And-
that is mentioned here. Pradibhyo dhatujasya vachyo, this va is very important. Va means optionality, vikalpa. Va uttarapada lopaha means it may drop, it may not drop. That's your choice. Okay?
And one more thing, Swamiji.
Yeah.
That last word, that darshaniya bharyaha,
Uh-huh.
what is the actual meaning of it?
I told you, one who has a wife who is good looking.
So when you make the compound in Pullinga, still that's what it means.
See,
I just-
compound is talking of a man. It's a see, Bahuvrihi is always talking of Anyapada.
Mhm.
One who has a beautiful wife cannot be another woman. Today's world, it can be, okay. Let's stick with our classic world, all right. It cannot be another woman. Therefore, it has to be a man. All right. So, but darshaniya bharya, it should be. Why darshaniya bharya? That is Pumvad Bhava. That bharya becoming bharya is because of gender change of the compound.
Mm.
See, the bharya cannot really exist in masculine. Has to become bharya. So some changes happen. I'm not getting into all the details, but changes will happen.
Thank you, Sanjay.
Yeah. Yes, Bhuma, you had a question.
Swamiji, it was the same question. Darshaniya Bharya.
Okay.
So it's answered. Thank you.
Yep. Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, does this mean that all Krit Pratyayas which take the three Pratyaya can be replaced with their equivalent male counterparts?
Generally true. Yeah. There are rules exactly when this thing called Pumvad Bhava can take place. There are rules. And the rules, it's called Pumvad Bhashita Pumskat Samanadhikarane. There's some rule like that. That Bhashita Pumskaha is a word we use. What is Bhashita Pumska? As I said, it should have, may not be in this context, but it should have the same form in all vibhaktis when you decline. Except for gender different, everything should be same. Then only this can apply. You cannot have Agni and, what do you say? Another word for Agni.
Pavaka.
Pavaka, let's say, correct. Pavaka. These are same meaning, but the words are entirely different. There you cannot bring Pumvat Bhava from one to another. Should be the same word with a feminine form, which is a little different. And then, the only difference because of feminine pratyaya, then in certain cases, the masculine form will be coming in.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Priyanka.
Swamiji, in this note that is on the screen,
Yeah.
should be not agama. Third line.
Yeah, no, not nut. Correct. That is correct. You have a good eye to catch problems. Good.
And technically that would be nasalized.
That is true. I don't bother with that now. You all know it. Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Sometimes I have to just shut down Word to get it to work. Other way. Okay, I'm gonna fix it later. Okay, this is for one last time. If it works, let it work. It didn't work. Leave it. Okay, I'll fix it later. If not, Priyanka will fix it. All right. So we solve these. Now I'm not going to get into Dandva now. I want to finish Avyay Bhava today, okay? Otherwise, I'll be revising and I won't get to Avyay Bhava. Avyay Bhava is the topic for today. What is Avyay Bhava compound? An Avyay Bhava compound is one which generally the Avyaya is the Purvapada. Generally, not always. Okay? So that's why Samskrita Bharati will say prayah purvapada padartha pradhanah avyayi bhavah. Prayah, generally. So, example, yatha upavriksham. What is upavriksham? What is vigrahavakya? Vrikshasya samipam. The word upa means near in this context. Vrikshasya samipam iti vigraha. Atra upa iti purvapadasya samipyarthasya pradhanyam. So here when you say upavriksham, we are not interested in the vriksha. We are interested in something close to the vriksha, near the vriksha. All right. So there may be a picnic table near the vriksha. All right. There could be a stream of water near the vriksha. Whatever it is, you are interested in not the vriksha, but something proximal to the vriksha, to the tree. Therefore, what is pradhana is the upa, the closeness. But upa is not an independent word here. It's an avyaya which is coming in, right? And the vigraha vakya will typically be aswapada vigraha. Therefore, you'll find something like vrikshasya. Suppose I say upa vriksham. What will you understand? So, laukika vigraha will always be a aswapada vigraha. Vrikshasya samipam. And samipa will be replaced by upa. And then you make the compound and you get upavriksha. So he says, see, Samskrita Bharati wants to cover all possibilities. So he says there is avyaya, which is the first word, avyaya, which is the second word, you know, and avyaya uttarapada rahitascha iti. I didn't even look at it. Okay. So like this, there are classifications which we are not really interested in. What I will do now is I will knock this out so that all this confusion is not there for you. We don't need it at this stage, because these small confusion time will take more of our time. We'll knock it out. Then there are multiple sutras, but one main sutra for avibhavas. They're not looking at sutras still. I'm mentioning it for future reference. Okay. So what happens here in avyaya, in so many possible meanings, each hyphen is telling a different meaning. In all these meanings, an avyaya may combine with another word to form an avyayi bhava compound. So avyayam will join with another word in the meanings of the avyaya should have meaning of vibhakti, samipa, samriddhi, arthabhava, atyaya, asamprati, shabda pradurbhava, paschad, not panchad, should be paschad, yatha, anupurvya, yaugapadya, sadrishya, samprati, sakalya, antavachaneshu. All these meanings of avyaya can combine. It doesn't make you any wiser, okay? Unless you look at each meaning. So what we'll do, we'll look at some of the more common examples now. First one is vibhakti artha. You have to have an avyaya which has a vibhakti artha. What's a vibhakti? Prathama, dvitiya, tritiya, chaturthi, panchami, saptami, ashashti, saptami. This is called vibhakti, cases. Now, there is an avyaya adhi. Adhi. And what is the meaning of adhi? One meaning of adhi. Adhi has many meanings. One meaning of adhi is seventh case. One meaning of adhi is seventh case. So this rule is saying what? The word adhi may combine with other subanta words to form an avyayi bhava compound. That's what it really means. Predominantly for our purposes. Okay. So you will find example is vibhakti arthe harau iti adhihari. What is the vigraha vakya? Harau. That's all. Not even two words. Harau. But that harau, why don't I just leave it harau? No. I want to make a compound. Then you add adhi plus hari. You get adhihari. Okay. So adhihari means what? With reference to hari. It generally is a Vishaya Saptami. Not necessarily, but generally is. And we'll say adhikritya. So example, adhibhutam. Bhuteshu or bhutani adhikritya. Not bhutani, I'm sorry. Bhuteshu adhikritya. Okay. Bhuteshu adhikritya. Centered on elements. with reference to elements. Adhiyagyam with reference to yajna. Adhidaivam with reference to daiva. Adhividyam, same idea. Vidya pertaining to Vidya. Adhiprajam pertaining to children, Praja. Adhilokam pertaining to lokas. Adhirajam pertaining to a king, Rajya. Adhyatmam pertaining to what? Atma. What will Vigraha be? You can simply say Atmani. That's a Vigraha Vakya, okay? Or it may also be said as Atmanam Adhikritya. Both you should be ready to see. It is Aswapada Vigraha. Therefore, it can have other forms too. So this is a very common Avyayi Bhava compound we will see. Because we always see this word Dhyatma, Deva, Bhuta, etc. Okay? This is the Vibhakti Artha, first meaning we saw here. Then Samipa. What is Samipa meaning? Krishnasya Samipam. We saw Vriksha, now Krishna. Vrikshasya Samipam. Krishnasya Samipam is what? Upa is a Avyaya. Don't think Upa is only Avyaya. Any Avyaya which has the meaning of close can be used here. But typical example is Upa. Upa Krishnam means close to Krishna. Upa Kulam. Kula is a bank. Close to the river bank, ocean bank, shore, etc. Upakupam. What is Kupa? A well. Upakupa will what? Close to the well. There are buckets. Doesn't matter what it is, okay? So you can make any word like this. Upa, close to, with something. Right. Then, Artha Bhava. Artha Bhava means what? Absence of something. So, Vigraha Vakya, Makshikanam Abhavaha. Makshika is fly. Makshikanam Abhavaha. Nirmakshikam. What is the way of being used? Nir. Nis or nir. In the meaning of absence. Then, Nirvignam Kurume Deva. What is nir? Again, it is a going along with the word Vignam. Vignanam Abhavaha Nirvignam. Don't think only nir can be used. Nan also can be used. Nan. Therefore, it become what? Avignam. Avignam is what? Bahurihi. Sorry, Avyayi Bhava compound. And what is common about Avyayi Bhava compound? All Avyayi Bhava compounds are Avyayas. All Avyayi Bhava compounds are, what is Avyaya? Navyeti. That which does not change. Does not change with what? With case and number. Supratyaya gets added and Supratyaya gets dropped. So what's the net result? Pratipadika remains. It will look like the Pratipadika itself. Okay? There are some exceptions to it, which we will come to. Asamshayam. Absence of doubt. Similarly, Nishpratyuham. Absence of obstacles. Pratyuha. So like this, any number of words can be formed in the sense of Abhava. These are all Avyayi Bhava compounds. Now, suppose you say Avignaha or Avigna, that would be Nantat Purusha, which will change its gender based on what it's qualifying. But here it will always be a neuter. Then there is something called Atyayartha. What is Atyaya? Atyaya means Dhamsaha. Prag Vidyamanasya Punarnashaha Atyaya. Not a very common meaning, okay? So the going away of winter is called Atihimam, end of winter. But the word Atihimam could also mean, excessive snowfall. So it's contextual. We have to be very cautious. Can't get one meaning all the time. Again, this one is not a very commonly used meaning. Shabda Pradurbhavarthe. What is the meaning here? See, take an example. Hari Shabdasya Prakashaha. Iti Hari. What does it mean? In Hari's words. That's the meaning. So, Panini Shabdasya Prakasha. Iti Panini. Means what? According to Panini. That's a compound. It's not Iti Paninihi Vadati. It's not like that. Iti Panini is one word. Not a common usage for us again. Paschadarthe, after. Vishnoho paschat, after Vishnu, Anu Vishnu. Rathanam paschat, Anuratham. Ratha is going. Behind that comes what? Elephants come. After that comes what? Foot soldiers. Padati, etc. Not a common meaning again. Okay. Then Yathartha Chaturtha. The Yatha, the Avyaya Yatha. If you look here, we saw Atyaya. What happened to that Yatha here? I expected it here.
It's there, Swamiji, last but one. On the first line.
Yeah, here, sorry, yeah. So Yatha is here, it's not in the same order. So Yatha, the Avyaya, has got multiple meanings, okay? It's got 4 meanings important for us here. So those 4 meanings will be picked up one by one. So first meaning is Yogyartha. So, and the point is, it is not Yatha which has to compound. It is any Avyaya which has the meaning of Yatha. It can be Yatha, it can be another Avyaya also. So example here is Rupasya Yogyam Anurupam. So they will say, when you're looking for a match, alliance, then you look for Anurupa Pati, Anurupa Bharya. What does Anurupa mean? Suitable for, fit for this person. Matching ityartha. That's the meaning of Yatha here. Anurupam. Then we will say what? Anugunam. In keeping with congenial, suitable in terms of guna, attributes, anugunam. Then another meaning of this Yatha is called Vipsa. Vipsa means what? Vipsa means aptamicha, desire to pervade. Okay, this is just coming from a dictionary, this whole meaning. And it's a repetition of words to imply continuous or successive action. Like what? Vriksham, vriksham, sanchati. What does it mean? Vriksham, vriksham, sanchati. Tree, tree, he irrigates. No, what does tree mean? Each and every tree he irrigates. Okay? Vriksham, vriksham, sanchati. So this is called Vipsartha. So in this meaning, there are a few avyayas. So examples are what for us? Prati is an avyaya which has that meaning. Artham, artham, prati. That's the Vigraha Vakya. And what does it mean? Pratyartham. Each and every, with reference to each and every meaning. Pratyartham. Pratyekam. Ekam, ekam, prati. Each and every is pratyekam. Pratidinam. Dinam, dinam, prati. Each and every day. You can say dinam, dinam, or you can say pratidinam. Both have the same meaning. Pratibodham. If you remember Kena Upanishad, Pratibodha Viditam Matam. What is Pratibodham? Bodham, bodham, prati. In each and every cognition, with reference to each and every cognition. Yathopadishtam. Now the avyaya is not prati. It is yatha itself. Yathopadishtam. Now yathopadishtam in this context means what? Yani yani upadishtami. Each and everything which has been taught. But in a different context, it could also mean upadishtam anatikramya, not transgressing what was taught. Contextually, you have to see what meaning it will have. This non-transgression meaning is a very common meaning. That is the next meaning for yatha here. Padartha anativrityarthe, in the sense of not transgressing or not exceeding limits. Most common avyaya bhava compound you will see probably. Shaktim anatikramya. What will it be? Yatha shakti. So typically we'll say you give danam yatha shakti. What does it mean? In keeping with your capacity to give. Everybody cannot give the same. A king will give like a king. A poor man will give like a poor man. But what is the dana statement? Yatha shakti. So there's one statement, yatha shakti danam. Depending on your ability, you give. In keeping means not in a way which will hurt you, not in a way which doesn't even touch you. Means you are a billionaire and you want to give dakshina, what will you give? 1 rupee. That is not yathashakti. But you are a person who makes 5,000 rupees a month and you want to give a dhanam of 5,000. That is also not yathashakti. Basically, it should not transgress your own limits, your ability to give. That is yathashakti. Then you have yathashastram. What would mean now? Shastram anatikramya. This anatikramya you add. Vigrahavakya you will get. Shastram anatikramya. Not transgressing the Shastra. The meaning should be in keeping with the Shastra. What karma you do should be yatha shastram, in keeping with the Shastra. That's the way you translate it, in keeping with. Yatha karma. How is a person born? Yatha karma, yatha shruti. What does yatha karma mean? Appropriate to, in keeping with the karma one has done. Shruti typically stands for what you have heard and done upasana. So, in keeping with your karma and upasana, that's how the shruti will come. Understanding also sometimes we will say, in keeping with your understanding. Then, yatha kalam. How should you dress up? This is summer, 45 degrees. How should you dress up? Nice warm wools. That is not yatha kalam. What is yatha kalam? T-shirt weather, That is yatha kalam. Could also mean, modern times, old times, yatha kalam. Need not be just season. Anything, right time. Yatha samarthyam, in keeping with capacity. Yatha balam, in keeping with strength. Yatha vidhi. Yatha vidhi is a very common statement for Veda. How should you do anything? Yatha vidhi, as it is ordained. As it is ordained. Then yatha kamam. Yatheshtam, as you like. This is a common phrase. You will see in certain traditional houses when they give bhojanam, they will say in Tamil Nadu, yatheshtam. They may say it is yadeshtam, but it's meant to be yatheshtam. Means what? Please eat as much as you like. Yatha ishtam. In keeping with your desire, you eat. You want to eat only sweet, you eat only sweet. You want to eat only something else, enjoy that. Bonda you enjoy. Vada you eat. Doesn't matter what you want. Yatheshtam. So when they feed, they are supposed to come and say, yatheshtam, yatheshtam. Eat as you like. Ishtam anatikramya. Not forced to eat what you don't want to eat. Yatheshtam. How much coffee do you want? Yatheshtam. Have as much as you like. A la carte is what? Yatheshtam, okay? You go to the hotel, what would you like? Yatheshtam. He'll give you a card. You decide what you want. I want this and I want that, whatever, It is all example of yatheshtam. So any word with yatha, it's a good possibility you will find this compound, okay? Examine the possibility. I have covered a lot of common words in our Shastra. Then there is another meaning of yatha, which is sadrishyam. So, harehe sadrishyam. Like Hari, Sahari it becomes. Saha becomes. Saha is avyaya and becomes sa. Not a common example for us. Sadrishyam artha we don't see much. Then another meaning for avyayi bhava compounds is an avyaya in the meaning of anupurvyarthe. Anupurva means what? See, anupurva means in the order of time. I could say first come, first served kind of thing, okay? So, jeshtasya anupurvena anujeshtam. So, suppose you have some ritual wherein, each person has to come and do something. Who should come first? There are 4 brothers. The oldest should come first, then the third, then the second, then the first. That sequencing is called anupurvyam. That kind of meaning. That anu has the meaning of anupurvyam there. Not a common kind of words for our use, okay? Because, see, the sutra covers all the words. And all examples are given. But what will end up happening normally, we'll break our heads over these which we don't understand. And it won't add much value to our our ability to appreciate language. So what am I trying to do? I'm giving you more examples where they're relevant and knocking off what we don't. See, that's why I made a comment here. Very few words like these are likely to be seen. So what does it mean? You can reduce your effort on these, okay? You can take it easy. Discount I'm giving you up here. Yoga Padyarthe, together. Yugapat means together. Chakrena Yugapat, Sachakram. So you will hear Sashankha Chakram, etc. So how does he come? Not one time Shankha, one time Chakra. Yugapat. So Shankha Chakra together he will come and stand. Vishnu Bhagavan. How often will you see such a word? Not too common, okay? And Sa here is, Yugapat. But suppose as a Sashankha Chakram, it could also mean Chakrena Saha. And Saha means with. Saha Tritiya. So multiple meanings are possible. Don't let the word Sa drive you nuts sometimes. It can have different meanings. Okay. Sadrishyartha, we just saw that, okay? Sadrishyam, we just covered here. Hare Sadrishyam, same thing here. Then Sampatyarthe. Sampatti means a lot of richness, some meaning like that. So Kshatranam Sampatti Sakshatram. You can see I'm giving short treatment means not useful or not seen much. Sakalyarthe, total, complete. So Trinapi Aparityajya, Satrinam. So, did he take everything from the house? Yes, including one last straw, he didn't leave. Everything he took out. Satrinam. Sakalyartha. Sakalya means what? Sakalasya bhava. Completely. With nothing left. That's also a meaning for that. That avyay bhava compound, that saha can have sakalyartha. Okay. So then antarthe. Anta means what? Agni Grantha Paryantam. Up to the end of Agni Grantha. That is said as what? Sagnihi. Very uncommon for us again. So the Saha here means the Avyaya is Saha and has a meaning of end. Up to. Ending with Agni. Agni is some Grantha in which Agni related chapter is there. Not useful to us. Avadharanarthe. Not common, but sometimes you will see. Yavat Jivam. Like what? See, you have to say up to when. Avadharana means they should give a limiting condition in this context. So up to your life, until one lives. Yavat Jivam Agnihotram Juhuyat. At Yavat Jivam will what? A Avaybhava compound. Then this Maryadartha and one more is Abhividyartha. These are important. Pay attention. What is Maryadartha? Maryada and Abhividhi are both limits. Maryada means a limit which excludes the boundary. Okay? Tena vina. Maryada we will say tena vina. That's what remember. Maryada is tena vina. Without that. And what is Abhividhi? Tena saha. Includes it. All right. So now, these two, the avyaya used for both, unfortunately, is ang. Ang. Nakara is it. What will remain? Ah. Okay. So when you don't make a compound, the case of the word which is governing this limit will be in the fifth case. Samantat, we'll say, Agramat. What does it mean? Can mean up to the village or village included. That village, next naming village included. Agramat, Nagarat. When is all this now? It is without compounding. But if you compound, it become what? Nagaram, Gramam. That will happen. Why that will happen, we'll look at in a few minutes. Okay. This will come in ending compounds of Yai Bhava. We will look at that in a bit. But what I'm saying is, is an avyaya, ang, which becomes which will have both meanings. What meanings? Abhividhi and Maryada. Both meanings are therefore the same avyaya. Therefore, when you see a word, now it's our job to figure out which meaning does it have. Does it have Abhividhi artha or Maryada artha? Because the right meaning should be taken. Abrahma bhuvanalokan punaravarti norjuna. Norjuna. Abrahma bhuvanan lokan. So, up to Brahmaloka. Punaravarti is there. Is it up to including Brahmaloka or excluding? You have to know. Punaravarti is up to Brahmaloka, not including Brahmaloka. Then it will be what? It will be Maryada. If it includes, what will it be? Abhividhi. Okay. So this which is ang, will be governed by fifth case if it is not a compound. And this is very common. We should know what the meaning means. Give a few examples. Himalayat. Himalayat. Will become what? Himalayam. So this is an example given in Samskrita Bharati. And what is this? What is it? The pada is trying to talk about China Desha. Means what? What do you understand now? Himalayam China Desha. What do you understand? China ends before Himalaya begins. Okay. Himalaya belongs to us. That's the idea. Samskrita Bharati will have its own values to add, So the examples will be in keeping with their what they want to send home to us. So they want to say, look, this is ours. Hindu Rashtra it is. It is India. Tibet was not part of China. This is all gimmicks now. The whole point is, this is the example given here. Okay. So what's the counter example for Abhividhi then? Himalayat Bharataha, including Himalaya, is India. That's their example. Okay. Excluding Himalaya is Maryada, China. Including Himalaya, us. That is India. That's the example. So I thought it's a good example to remember, Himalaya included or excluded will make it Abhividhi or Maryada. Okay. So example. Brahmaloka. Up to Brahmaloka, excluding Brahmaloka in Maryada Artha. Jivanam, up to the end of one's life. Maranam, up to the time of death. Muktihi, up to Mukti, but excluding it. Samsara has Mukti. If it is Abhividhi, then what will happen? There will be no Mukti, okay? Samsara will continue with Mukti. No, it is Maryada. Excludes Mukti. Samudram. This is typical way of saying, how much is the king's kingdom? How big is his kingdom? Oh, his kingdom goes up to the ocean. Is the ocean included? No. Up to the shoreline. Samudram. Then, example of Abhividhi. Abhividhi is what? Tena saha Abhividhi. Tena vina Maryada. These two you should remember. Tena saha, tena vina. So Abhividhi is what? Himalayat, Himalayam. I told you. See, Himalayam looks the same in both cases. Himalayam, Himalayam. This is China Desha. This is Bharat Desha. What will China do? They will reverse it. They will say, this is Maryada, that is Abhividhi. That is what LOC problem is. Okay. Brahma Bhuvanam. This is up to and including Brahmaloka. I can say that way too, for some context. Okay. Patali Putram. What is Patali Putram? Up to and including Pataliputra. So suppose you are trying to say, for this particular election, what is the boundary for this constituency? Up to Pataliputra. Includes or does it exclude? This boundary is always a problem, okay? So many errors in programming come because of wrong boundary value checks. You either say less than, where you should say less than equal to, or you say greater than, you meant greater than equal to. You make that mistake, and you will see that even today somebody will write code, they will make that mistake. It's so common. Boundary value conditions are very critical. You have to see whether it's, what's the condition? Greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. That is Abhividhi Maryada, okay? Good way to understand it. So, Patalitputram means what now? In this context, it is up to and including Pataliputra. Okay. Then Kumaram Yashaf Panine. Kumaram. Kumara is a boy. How famous is Panini? Panini is Kala, okay? How famous is Panini? Oh, his fame was known even to kids. Kumara. Little boys. Kumaram. Yashah Panine. Panini's fame was there up to little boys. Means he was very well known. That is the example is only for okay? And all of them with Panchami, you can form without samasa. Okay. Then, Abhimukhyarthe. Abhimukhyarthe means facing it. Agnim prati pratyagni. Sometimes the word abhi itself may be used. Abhimukha itself means putting in front. Okay. Examples will be there, but not too many. I couldn't think of any. I just haven't put any more. Okay. Then you have this funny fellow. This is not part of that one sutra, it's a different sutra. Pare shabdayuktaha. So Gangayaha pare. Pare Gangam. Sixth case word will come. Gangayaha pare. It will look like a Shati Tatpurusha to you. But pare is an avyaya. And the compound is pare Gangam. Means on the other bank of Ganga. That's what it means. Gangayaha madhye. In the middle of Ganga. How do you say that? Looks like Shati Tatpurusha. But here it is what takes in our context here. Avyay bhava. It will be pare madhye Gangam. Do you remember one more example like this in Gita, Dhyana Shloka? Madhye Mahabharatam. What is Madhye Mahabharatam? This is a compound. Mahabharata. You know, Mahabharata is the word. In the middle of Mahabharata. Mahabharatasya Madhye. Madhye Mahabharatam. Okay? Not very common compound. Sometimes you will see. So, Samudrasya Madhye. Madhye Samudram. Madhye Mahabharatam. Madhye Gangam. Like this, several examples may be given. Then, this is again not a very common thing. Matrarthe. See, a little. Matra here, a little. Shakasya leshaha. Shaka prati. That prati is an avyaya which has the meaning of little. Shaka prati, a little vegetable. So these are examples you will see in Avyaya Bhava. That's all I want to cover the Avyaya Bhava as examples. Now, there's one thing you should know about Avyaya Bhava compounds is although it is an avyaya, it is an apumsaka, it is considered an apumsaka linga. Right? And if the Avyayi Bhava compound is ending in a short at, in Paninian language, at with taparakaranam. At is what? With only one matra, not a. Ending in a. Then what happens? Then, see, normally in an Avyaya, sup is added and sup is dropped. Therefore, in any case, meaning in any number, case and number, the word will be the same. The word will remain same. Why? It has to have, see, to be a word, it must either be what? Subanta or Tinganta. Subtingantam padam. has to have either sub ending or thing ending. Then how do you have avyaya? Avyaya is subantam. But I don't see sub. Yeah, it comes and it goes. Why? Avyayat apsupaha. Whenever avyaya is there, the sub is dropped. This is the normal rule. But when you have an avyayi bhava compound, which is ending in a, then instead of dropping, the pratyaya will become What will it become? Like Ramam, Krishnam. Will get added. To which vibhakti? To all vibhaktis except fifth case. Will become the pratyaya for all vibhaktis and vachanas except fifth case. All right. Fifth case will retain the normal form for akaranta napumsakalinga. Okay? It won't drop. The pratyaya will remain. All right? And in seventh case and third case, it can either be or it can be the third or seventh case endings. Got it? It's an avyaya. But if it's an avyayi bhava compound, which is an avyaya, and it ends in a prasva akara, at, then in such a case, in general, except fifth case, all endings can be replaced by In third and seventh case, the replacement with is optional, which means it will have the regular endings and both are possible. Is this somewhat clear? Now look at that. That's all I'm saying here. So you find example. Example is Upakrishna. Krishna se samipam Upakrishna. And what will happen now? Upakrishnam, 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 Upakrishnena, Upakrishnabhyam, Upakrishnabhihi. But another form is what? Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam. Fourth case, Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam. Fifth case, no Upakrishnat, Upakrishnabhyam, Upakrishnabhyah. Then sixth case, Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam. Seventh case, two forms. Upakrishne, Upakrishnayoho, Upakrishneshu, normal seventh case form, or Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam, Upakrishnam. Swamiji, why so much complication? That is how the language is, okay? Not in my hand. So this is an extra wrinkle you have to keep in mind when you're looking at an avyaya ending, avyayi bhava compound ending in a. That is why adhyatmam, adhidaivam, adhiyagyam, all because that's the way it has to be. Yes, Raji.
Swamiji, that in the fifth case, the plural, is it declension is like a Rama Shabda?
You tell me, akaranta, what will it be?
Yeah, it will be Rama Shabda, so it should.
Oh, Krishnebhya. Did I say Krishnabhya?
Yeah.
It could have a
Krishnebhya.
typo. It could be a typo. What you said is correct. It should be like Rama. Typos are mine, okay? I will contribute. That's my
Thank you.
contribution. So,
Third case ending was also, I think.
huh?
Third case ending also.
Yeah, we fix them later. Okay. But endings are exactly as should be in drama. No difference. Because akaranta. Neuter after second case will all be like that. See, in neuter also what happens? In the first two cases, sup gets dropped. That's how you get, no, it in akarana it doesn't get dropped. You get If you remember, phalam phale phalani, phalam phale phalani. How did it become phalam phale phalani? So you have to know that it became, the ending of su became So, and that same ending is there in second case also, was in second case. And in some other cases, in all other non-akaranta, it gets dropped. This akaranta is always exception. Rama Shabda, I told you the maximum number of exceptions to the standard rule for declensions. And it's a maximum usage in the language. That's how it is. Okay. And the other thing is this. Now you see, close to a Raja should be what? Uparajan. Should be Uparajan. But because Samasanta Pratyaya, it will become Uparaja. Something happens, the an goes, and you get an a in its place. Adhyatman should be called Adhyatman, it should be Nakaranta. Why Adhyatmam? Again, this an goes, and you get an a because of Samasanta Pratyaya. And you get Adhyatma. Once now it is Akaranta, then it'll follow this rule. Adhyatmam. Okay. So this is how, this is an extra wrinkle for a ending avyayi bhava compounds. Not for all avyayas. Avyayi bhava compounds which are avyayas. Okay. So with this, I can say we have done enough to say we have done avyayi bhava compounds. Introduction has been done. Okay. What will happen if we study more? You will look at each rule more carefully and try to understand. That's all. Nothing more will come out of it. No, I find it's like you dig a lot, but you will get very little out of it. This much you catch hold of, you get 90% of what you need. Okay. So as you can see, Tatpurusha and Bahuvrihi, especially Tatpurusha, will take more time to understand because too much of variety. Bahuvrihi and Tatpurusha are very common. Dvandva is easy to spot, not very difficult. So main thing you have to know is what? To be able to distinguish between Tatpurusha and Bahuvrihi. That is where the meanings will be in trouble. Unless you distinguish, you won't understand the meaning clearly. So whether it's Bahuvrihi or Tatpurusha, you should catch. Typically, Karmadharaya and Bahuvrihi will look alike because both are Samanadhikaranam. No? So that's where we need to have more attention. But otherwise, you will find Dvandva and Avyayi Bhava are easy. You don't need much effort for them. Bahuvrihi and Tatpurusha need a little more effort. And we have not covered every variety possible. There is more to it, but the numbers should be small. Therefore, I have covered what I think is significant. Okay. So that's the end of our introduction to samasas. I'm happy that I have finished it before a break. Okay. Have any questions on this? You're welcome to ask. Yes, Harsha.
Swamiji, in the example that it was muktihi and not muktim. Is it because it's not at ending?
Yes, it is not at ending. It is neuter. If you go and look at neuter, what is your example for neuter ikaranta?
Blanking on it.
You have to go look up.
Vari Shabda.
Vari Shabda, correct. Vari, Varini, Varini, correct. So like that, this will also be just amukti. No, won't be mukti because it's neuter. It's neuter and it is avyaya. Swami, what is the use of neuter and avyaya? Understand, there will be some uses for it at times, but right now don't worry too much about it. Okay. Yes, was there another hand which went up? Yes, Deepthi.
Swamiji, I had question regarding this Nanya Samasa. So it's very difficult, like whenever we see whether it's a Tatpurusha or a Bahuvrihi or now the Avyayi Bhava.
You have to, avyayi bhava is relatively simpler. It will be a neuter, 100%. Okay. And only abhavartha.
Okay.
All right. Tatpurusha and Bahurihi, I cannot help you. You have to see the language in the context. There is no shortcut. Okay. You have to look at the context and decide which will fit.
Similarly, this Sa also, no? Sa is there, Sa, Saha, and this it coming.
In
Yes.
Avaribhava also.
Yes. You can't do much with that. That's the way the language is. Samana is saha is saha has so many meanings. True. But you know what? Most of the time you will not have to encounter all these. Saha as yogapadyam, saha as sadrishyam. You will not see so much of that. So when you study grammar, it will look more imposing. But in the language, it is not so imposing if you look at what you see in Vedanta. Go look at how many words with sa, and you will not find it too complicated. But Tatpurusha and Bahurihi, I told you, that is the job which we have to pay attention to as we study. But say for example, if you say uh, let's look at Gita. Nainam chandant shastrani, nainam dahati pavaka, na chaidam kedayantyapah, na shoshayati marcha. Achedyoyam, adahyoyam, akledyo shoshya evacha, akledyaha ayam. Now, is it Tatpurusha or Bahurihi? Akledyaha ayam. Adahyaha ayam. For this, you should know what is dahya. You should know the second part of the compound. What is dahyam? Dahana yogyam. That which can be burnt. Kritya pratyaya. Yeah. Now, what is adahyam then? Not capable of being burnt. Therefore, it will be tatpurusha. You don't need a bahurihi here. Get it?
Yes.
Adahyam, akledyam, adahyam, alakshanam. What is alakshanam now?
Cannot be pointed.
Alakshanam is that which does not have a lakshanam.
Akshanam.
Therefore, what will it be? Tatpurusha or bahurihi?
Bahuvrihi.
That which does not, correct, that which does not have a lakshanam. Therefore, avidyamanam lakshanam yasya saha. Na lakshanam alakshanam. That is not the example here. Achintyam. Chintya, that which can be thought of. Therefore, it will be tatpurusha. Avyapadeshyam. Right? So, like this, you will find. You have to contextually see what it means. Because tatpurusha and bahurihi, you have to look at context. And one good thing for bahurihi is what? Look at the gender of the word. If the gender of the word is different from the Uttarapada, you know it is bahurihi. Like, amanaha. If I say amanaha, what is Uttarapada?
Yes.
Manas. What is the gender of manas?
Is Sakaranta Napunsik
How will it decline?
Manas Manasi Manansi.
Good. So what is amanaha?
That
Not
will be
neutral.
Bahuvrihi. Yeah.
It will be bahurihi. Right? So like that, gender will help you. Context will help you. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Anything else? Okay. There are no more questions, right? All right. There are some questions asked by the study group. I will answer them now because pertaining to compounds anyway. Okay, I think I haven't opened it. Let me open it first. Okay. Give me 1 second. I will open it. We're not sure about Alokya Vigraha of the words highlighted in yellow. We'll look at them. Dvijaya idam. This is Chaturthi Tatpurusha. Dvijaya idam. Compound will become what? Dvijartham. Really, this idam is part of the Laukika Vigraha, but it is not really part of the compound. Because what goes in is Artha. This is wrong, the first one. This is correct. Dvija plus Gne plus Artha will give you Dvijartha. And the gender will follow the gender of, that's why idam, iyam, ayam. Okay? So drop the idam from your Alaukika Vigraha, keep the Artha. Clear? Then this I explained in the class, so hopefully there's no more a question. Should be Nasti and Avidyamanam, should all be cleared up now. Everywhere, use Avidyamanam, you'll be okay. Now, Avarnam, Avidyanam, Avidyamanam, Varnam, Varnaha Yasya. Now, Varnam, Varnaha, I guess, depends on gender of the word Varna. Sometimes the one word can be in multiple genders too. So you have to see what it means. Okay. Then, okay, here. Chakshushi cha shrotre cha etesham samaharaha. So, that this extra chakara should not be needed. I don't think it's necessary. It can be there, but not necessary. Samaharaha. Chakshushrotram. Samahara Dvandva, correct. Why? It is the organs of a living being that allows for Samahara Dvandva. Chakshushrotram. Similarly, Apani Padam. Avidyamanam Pani Padam Yasya. Correct. Yes, Priyanka, you have a question.
So here Chakshuhu is written. So
Where?
that's why the question was if it is a compound or not, if that's
Oh,
coming from.
Chakshushrotram.
Yeah.
Achakshushrotram. Is that
Yeah.
what your question is?
Yeah, so it is declined as Chakshuhu, or is it because of some Sandhi rule that Visarga is there?
No, no. The Pratipadika is not Chakshu, it's not Ukaranta. It's
Oh,
Chakshush. Chakshush, Chakshushi, Chakshumshi, like Manas.
okay.
That's the Pratipadika.
Okay.
Therefore, it is not Ukaranta if you're thinking that's what it is. It's not a Visarga at all.
Okay, right.
See this. This should give it away to you. Chakshushi, how did you get?
Hmm.
Chakshush, Chakshushi, Chakshumshi. Chakshush, Chakshushi, Chakshumshi. Once you got Chakshushi as 2-1, then you cannot think Chakshu is the Ukaranta. Correct? That's a small hint. Okay. Sarvam Gatam. This is not right, okay? Sarvam Chatat Gatam is not right. This is not Karmadharaya. Sarvagatam is Sarvam Gatam. Gone to everything. Gone to all. So Sarvam is Dvitiya. Gata, Gatam, Gata depends on gender of what you're trying to qualify. Bahuri, I mean Tatpurusha. But Sarvam is 2-1. That which is gone to. And this is a Dvitiya Tatpurusha. When you see the word Gata in this situation, it should typically be a Dvitiya Tatpurusha. Because Dvitiya Tatpurusha is very limited. Gata, Shrita, Atita. There are only a handful of words like that, which fit by the rule for Dvitiya Tatpurusha. Dvandvatitam. Dvandvatito Vimatsaraha in Gita. Dvandvatitam will be what? Dvandvam Atitam. That which has transcended duality. Vimatsaraha, vigataha matsaraha yesham te. Pradibahurihi. Right? But here contextual I'm saying Dvandvatitam will be Atita word. It's a hint, likely to be Tatpurusha, Dvitiya Tatpurusha. Okay. Then Susukshmam, Sushtu Sukshmam, correct. It's a Pradibahuri, Praditatpurusha. So could be some dhatu is dropped, could be, but you have to know. Typically with Su, nothing gets dropped. You'll be okay. Okay. Anything else? People like to have bonus exercise. I didn't know. I will give you more bonus if you want. 5 verses of Gita I will give you. It will be bonus for you, extra bonus. Good. Happy to see the enthusiasm for doing bonus exercise. Any other question? Yes, Raji.
Swamiji, that Chakshuhu Shrotram,
Mhm.
the compound is Chakshushrotram or still
Yeah.
you keep the Visarga?
Chakshushrotram. That
The vis-
chakshus, that sa is becoming a visarga there in
Ah,
writing.
okay. That
In
remains.
pronouncing, you have to pronounce Chakshushrotram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we say Purnamadaha? Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So next class for this series, you wait for a mail and then you will know when it happens, okay? Maybe June, maybe July, I don't know, depending on time, because I'll be traveling to Rishikesh from June to November. So depending on the time I have, I will decide what time this class will be and for how long and which day of the week. Things may change a little. I'll try to keep the same schedule, but they may change. So when you get the mail, you will know. Until then, you can go back and look at what we have done so far. If you have forgotten your ith letters, etc., revise them, because when we restart, I'm hoping to connect back there to get to some forms, guna, vriddhi, etc., how to, so that kridanta can become very pakka. We'll look at that. Okay. So look at what's been done. Don't forget everything you learned in 2 or 3 months. Then it won't be fun. Then you will be struggling in the class. Okay. So keep the powder dry. Thank you.
धन्यवादः।